Hello, fellow faithful. It is Bulldog here, the world's greatest silver analyst, back with more CLG analysis. I got an ice cold diet Dr. Pepper in hand and ready to get into pick ban here. Drawing out the Camille and Caitlyn bans right away. That's pretty big. That shows that individual players are being feared on CLG's front. The Karma being banned away again, which I haven't seen us play Karma yet, but I guess scrims must be going well. With that, the Olaf and Galio bans, not bad bans. Closer's Beast in general, and Demonte's really good. Galio, we don't prioritize it heavily, and we don't seem to do all too well with it. Yeah, banning out Closer, the best player on their team. Good idea. FBI has been playing well lately, but this is a winnable game and a must win.
Because of the fact that that happened overall. So Golden Guardians here looking at a winning record right now. They have yet to finish LCS.
If we don't win this, we're probably going to end up at the bottom of the standings and not make playoffs. I would at least like to make playoffs and give ourselves a chance to do something. I would like the Callista. I think it's very strong. We did well with it. The Volibear is also very good. It flexes well. Wiggly and Rowan both play it very well. If we draft either top or jungle after this first rotation, I'm probably going to throw something because first picking the Volibear gives us that flexibility. Okay, the Callista, that's very good. Gives us some early power bot lane. Stixxay plays it pretty well. I think the Aphelios would be a mistake here by Golden Guardians. I don't think it does that well into Callista. It gets outlaned super hard by it. Okay, they lock it in. So they need to lock in like a Tom Kench or something, or a Thresh to protect it. What will they lock in? And Huhi's been playing really well. He's transitioned to support well. Okay, the Twisted Fate. That's good luck. Okay, the Morgana. That's another aggressive support. I was thinking more Nautilus or Leona, but Smoothie plays the Morgana well. And Morgana does really well against Twisted Fate because you can just Black Shield whoever he gold cards, and it takes away a lot of the usefulness of that champion. And the Kench ban. And I would guess we would do the Thresh ban after that. It's almost as if I know what I'm talking about when it comes to Aphelios. 200 years. You gotta have something to protect him. And Golden Guardians is put in kind of a garbage position in terms of bans because they have to choke mid lane because the Volibear can go top or jungle. This is how you use the flex pick like that extremely well, because you force them into choking out mid lane, and Pobelter plays a lot very effectively in the mid lane. So you're not going to be able to ban him out. I don't necessarily agree with the Crocodile ban. I would have gone with the Thresh ban, personally. Just to remove the other kind of bread and butter support for Aphelios. Unless if we draft the Thresh and put Pobelter on Morgana mid, that could be very interesting.
Black Shield or in a team fight, just Black Shield gets gold carded and try to keep Demonte under turret with the
or
nerf. It's a laning phase.
The Rise?
They're going to move over to Rise though as the pick, another champion fairly recently buffed, and unless that Rise goes top lane for Ruin,
What?
another champion I think can have a decent amount of also someone that can match side lane
The-
against the TF later on, and that can be
What?
critical.
I'm
If you are thinking
I'm very confused about the Rise pick.
heavily depend on playing side lanes and having a champion
I guess it's all right,
into late game that can
but
prevent
I'm not a big fan of it.
pretty effective in
Ooh,
matchups.
I don't think the Bard's a great pick there.
Obviously not as good as the Destiny, but still can be
It
really powerful. There should be
it
that more
their
confidence.
team leaves the Aphelios very vulnerable right now.
Guard here feels a little bit risky. It does feel like you're
And us getting something to be able to dive it in the back line would be very good.
player, but this does feel like it's more about the roaming. You know, Felios, I don't think was ever really going to go down with that set because usually you only see set support, you know, paired alongside sometimes
I mean,
fasting Senna, but also
I'm not exactly sure
so they are going to go
what
for
we
the
would want to
support
pick here,
themselves, but I do think Bard, who also took some nerfs, should be pretty heavily disadvantaged.
because it could be jungle or top.
For sure, going to have more lane strength.
Like a Jarvan might be disgusting.
How much CLG can get done because I do think they're
But
very heavily favored in this.
Maokai?
It's going to be up to
Okay.
Golden Guardians.
I am always down for some tree sama.
Try to get out of lane and try to force that Morgana to match his
And that can be jungler top, but it's much better top lane. And it builds Spirit Visage very effectively, and so it goes very, very well into the Gnar. Or not into the Gnar, into the Kennen. And all of their damage is pretty immobile. So he can get onto the back line with an effective teleport and just be a front line really well. So I do like the Maokai pick quite a bit. And I think it's pretty underutilized. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward as far as I can. But I did not give myself enough of a delay. But I do like breaking at the Maokai pick.
for that Sunfire route, and this kind of snap go button is pretty powerful. Of just flash twisted advance. These are very many.
It really punishes their immobile, very immobile damage,
It can also even be pretty
and
difficult
kind of the lack of peel they have for it.
find those engages because even if Kennen finds a flank or a good
So we should play pretty aggressively around the bottom side of the map here.
into an ultimate, into that.
We should look to generate advantages in the bot lane because they have a pretty weak one. We died pretty well. Pobelter should be able to push in and get an advantage in mid lane. Ruin just kind of needs to survive for early on, try and keep things pretty even, and just have a bigger impact later in the game.
I've heard Golden Guardians talk about a few weeks back when interviewing and asking, hey, what's your play style? What's it look like for you? And they said, yeah, we feel like we have kind of settled in on a play style. We figured ourselves
So they
out.
did a good job, and they got that was very well done by Golden Guardians since they gave the ward kill to TF, which gives him the experience to get level 2 off of the first wave, which isn't that big a deal, but it's pretty nice. Closer starting red, same with Wiggly.
Honestly, antithesis of playing team fight style. Now, FBI has amazing stats, and he can be that reliable backline, but time and again, they're going for these kinds of champions. They're playing more their own style. They're doing their own level of innovation, and it's cool to see because it is working for them.
Ooh, that was a good snare to start off with. Gets a nice little chunk.
Them having their best split ever, I agree, and it even feels like it supports that even more, like that this is their highest level ever.
Stixay missed 1 CS, feels bad.
The last number of weeks because they started out 1-4.
So, yep, TF has a little bit of push because he got that early level 2. Ruin just surviving as he should because he gets bullied out pretty early on.
Not only did he start the W for that heal shrine, every time we've been seeing that, people have actually been going to the soul lanes and dropping them there. In this case, they're kind of just having
Ooh, probably don't want to be lined up quite like that, but no, Sealed or Stixay and Smoothie kind of dropping the ball in terms of wave management here, and falling behind in terms of levels, and just losing control over that lane, which that's not a lane they should lose control over. They're definitely the stronger 2v2.
Speaking of trouble in lane, early lead to Pobelter as the wave is pushed in, but Po will get more farm overall and actually does some decent damage for Demonte.
Closer's looking for something here, but Pobelter is in a perfectly fine position to be safe, just kind of farming under his tower. And it gives vision of closer where his pathing is, what his pathing was. That gives up a lot of information, but it also does allow them to get that similar information onto Wiggly. And Ruin keeping things generally pretty close here. Exactly what he wants to do. Be within a couple of CS. And wow, our bot lane mismanaged so poorly that they lost a tower plate. Like, this is a winning lane. This is one of the strongest lanes you can pick, and you're getting your ass handed to you. Wow. No, that's just sad. Pobelter farming well. Bot lane getting dumpstered. Ruin actually with a small lead here. In a matchup that he most definitely loses. Regardless, though, as the wave is going to push back around, you still got that farm lead on the Aphelios, and the first recall time is coming the next Bot lane is getting absolutely ass blasted in a matchup that they should not. This is really sad. Play for Drake instead. We'll sack the recall instead, do Drake damage, but so far that's not the case. They're putting their deep wards down, pop the Scryer's Bloom. They will once again, this is the second Bloom we have now seen spot Wiggly clearing his jungle, so there's really no chance for this Volibear to be surprising. The fact that Wiggly kind of has been on the back foot in this, I mean, bot lane should have control. It 100% should be in their control. They have Hela Blades Kalista. I don't know if there's a stronger laner. And they're getting outlaned. Fast enough that TF can, as long as you're both paying attention, there's no way to like cast faster on Rise. It doesn't scale up of anything. Like, this is frustrating to see the bot lane not have control. Because we invested early rotation into this. Say is a very minor thing. The first recall timing was skipped here. As you can see, the cannon wave at 6 minutes. That means they did go for the instant BF. And that's well done by Closer. I'm sure there's a reason why. And we just have no control over any lane. And they're just going to take advantage and get early objectives, steal away camps, and just generate small advantages for themselves. This is just a guess, but in my mind, if I'm playing Aphelios and playing against Kalista, and we're both just AFK farming and no one has items, I'm actually really happy as the Aphelios. So maybe he felt like by staying in lane, he would deny the base timing of his opponent and just keep them both on these small items. You know, obviously Kalista is going to be stronger on Blade of Rune King and on these kind of like earlier items. So maybe he just Kalista is stronger until like 2.5 items. But if you're getting out CS'd, you've lost tower plate. It's just, you're not gonna, like, that is not how you win as Kalista. You win as Kalista by getting early advantages, big early advantages and other things. Like, you should be getting tower plates, you should be denying CS, but they aren't. This at least is some good deep wards. Like, that's a clever ward to attract Closer right at the entrance there. Holy cow. Yeah. Aphelios is going to hurt. And this is just a free dragon for them because we have no control whatsoever over the bot lane. And we have very limited control over mid lane. Wiggly's getting out-farmed, out-pressured. Bot lane's getting out-farmed, out-pressured. Ruin's the only one with any semblance of pressure in a matchup that he shouldn't have it.
MR rush for Ruin. He either has the option to go straight towards the Spirit Visage if he feels like he's going to be in the side lane.
Oh, he absolutely should be rushing the Spirit Visage.
Work towards something like a Sunfire, which is going to help with his wave clear, and also make him more durable against FBI, who obviously will
Yeah,
do
but
big more consistent damage.
I mean the HP from the Spirit Visage early on will be enough to be tanky against FBI.
Whatever, so let's not bother with this one. As it is, there is obviously a very big item lead down in the bottom lane. I would say in an actual scrap, I take BF Sword Pickaxe over the Cutlass by a
But
lot.
Pobelter is pretty much dead even.
You can see FBI not really choosing to prioritize harassing.
Yeah, we're down by just quite a bit at this point.
For Golden Guardian, a lot of that being the Twisted Fate passive.
And we do have a much stronger mid game, and hopefully we can take advantage of that. But I don't know if they outscale in the late game. It's weird because Maokai scales incredibly well. So does Rise. But Callista doesn't scale that well.
You want to see pressure on this bottom side. You want to see them, winning the 2v2 so you can stack dragons. But maybe CLG has the read that, hey, our team fighting is so much stronger, we don't necessarily need to push the pace. We can afford to play.
Yeah, but why pick Callista if you're gonna do that? You could pick Ezreal. Or Caitlyn, or something along those lines. Oh, that's a good route. Pobelter should live. Good reaction to the pressure. Pobelter didn't have to burn flash. We didn't burn any sums for that. And Golden Guardians burned a couple.
Nice attempt though, and that's something that you want to see from Muhi moving around on this Bard. Anytime that ultimate is up on champions that don't have a dash, as long as you're not doing it from super far away, you can pretty consistently land it on them and force cooldowns for summoners, and that's what
and Hanser about to complete his call, so that'll be another spike in their gold lead, and it'll get it to about 2k. Yep, it's about 2k now. And yeah, we're just getting outlaned super hard.
Delay the Maokai more than enrich himself. Cole already done. That's again also part of that gold spike, as he's gotten very good CS here for Hanser at the basically free lane. Yeah, Hanser has always been really good at farming, honestly. He is one of those top laners that, if given an easy matchup, is pretty much going to have, near perfect farm most of the time. And he is showing that to us here again in a very quick marks that we've seen in Samsung Fast 5. He's often top of leaderboards. A lot of those marks.
And now Pobelter's decently far behind in CS because of that rotation that they made. Stixay's caught up a little bit, but this is a good play. Punishing Hanser's over-aggression and getting first blood. Good job. We do lose a... Oh, we probably lose most of this tower. Yeah, we lose the tower, so that's really unfortunate. Yeah, that's a huge advantage for them. Yeah, and losing mid lane tower is definitely not worth the first blood. Also, can I just say that Rise is the most boring champion in the entire fucking game? Like, his combo is so boring to use. It's just EQ. 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 That's all it is. Occasionally, you throw in a W. And most of it is like point and click, so it doesn't even feel that interesting. That summoner spell for what is probably an impending team fight via the fact that Ocean Drake is spawning in about 5 seconds. We want him there for that one. Well, no ult for the cannon, but look at that, a gold card, a stun, and Tempered Fate. Well, that's good flash. He would have died if he didn't. And he died anyway. Okay. And well, that's... I don't think that's going to be too good for us. Like, Hanser can still TP in, and we're fighting in a choke point, which is not going to be good if Hanser is able to get in. Hey, look, Hanser got in and absolutely bodied us because we decided to fight after our primary damage dealer was dead. That was just stupid.
Golden Guardians just wiping CLG off the map. Full control in this game now. Will take their second.
Like, we're not using the Callista effectively at all. This one has mostly been on bot lane.
He did find members from Golden Guardians. He was in a good position for
They've just been outlaned in a matchup that they should win.
They didn't have the damage to actually follow up on that engage from him, and Hanser, his ultimate did come back up, and he was able to find what was a great fight.
And Pobelter isn't like positioning poorly here. He's about as he's not really stepping too far forward. And Closer with a good play. And now this is just dumb to continue to go forward here. Because we can't, like, Stixay doesn't show up until, right? Let's count the auto attacks he gets. 2 before flashing. Yeah, he got 2 autos before flashing.
Black Shield was no longer there from Smoothie, so they clean up the kills, they grab the second dragon.
Well, we get to send our bot lane top, so they get to take that turret as well. Like, Ruin did the most damage on our team in that fight. Stixay did nothing. This could be a good dive if they don't just get stunned up and absolutely blow it, and they're both gonna die probably. Yep. No, this is pathetic. We don't deserve to make playoffs. Like, no, this just looks like a team that has lost all inspiration, all hope. Yeah, like, it was just poor execution.
They just couldn't quite land a lot of the damage. It seemed like a lot of miscues there from Pobelter. Hanser did a good job
yeah.
kind of avoiding some of that position.
This team ain't it.
With that damage,
I like the players, but this ain't it.
So CLG losing out again.
This game's over.
More than 5,000 gold behind. They are looking for plays, but just not being able to pull them off as Golden Guardians has been able to answer and winning out on both sides of the map again. And
at this rate, we're probably not going to make playoffs. Even if we do, we'll just get dumpstered. I am one of the more positive people in the community.
Yep, exactly. So, Pobelter honestly stepped a little bit too far forward there,
and Pobelter just misses that Q.
Pretty much that full cannon ultimate,
and it just doesn't go well. And does Stixay just die up here as well? Yeah. Oh my god. It's so bad. You got bullied in lane by Aphelios. One of the worst laning champions. Holy cow.
How far Stixay in particular is falling behind. We
No.
talked about Callista as this early mid-game champion who sometimes can struggle because of the range difficulties later on. Yes, they have a good team fighting team with Engage and tanks, but when you're down 5,000 gold and
Yeah. They don't have a bad team fighting team. And especially if Kennen and Aphelios are ahead. Yeah. You get his cleanse. And Ruin probably dies here. Because he stepped towards the wall there for whatever reason. Holy cow. If this were solo queue, I would be asking to FF because it would be over. They have a 3-kill Aphelios. They saw that Wiggly as well as Pobelter were up on that top side trying to kill off the Monte, so when CLG can't pull that off on the top side, Golden Guardians knows they have that window to make a play on the bottom side without there being much of a response, and they are able to pull it off. Well done by them. Even going to be able to drop the rift here. Yeah, the Kennen has Void Staff. which means the MR we built isn't going to be very effective. He's just going to be able to blow up the entire team. He has 3 kills. The Aphelios has 3 kills. Damonte's big. We're down nearly 10,000 gold, and a lot of it just stems by our bot lane not being able to generate an advantage early on, when the entire point of that lane is to generate an advantage early on.
After Team Liquid has shaped up to be very, very strong, we've seen other teams be able to step up. Golden Guardians are still the statistically #2 team in the early game behind Cloud9. The problem was they could not close those games. They had thrown so many away off of failing to capitalize after 10 to 15 minutes. This time around, though, we are seeing them remain proactive.
Yeah, well, we're going to go engage onto the dragon without a primary damage dealer there, and then we're going to get wiped, and they're going to be able to do a 20-minute Baron off of it, unless if Wiggly can get over the wall and steal it. Nope. Okay. We at least didn't kill ourselves, but we're, like, it's 23 minutes before the game deciding, or 5 minutes before the game deciding fight, and we don't win it. Our AD carry is an entire item behind. Our mid laners nearly an entire item behind as well. Our top laner is an entire item behind. Our jungler is more or less even. And support is a little bit behind. So, unless Golden Guardians just smashes their faces on the keyboard, there's not much chance that we win this. This is just an atrocious performance.
Yeah, and it feels increasingly like they are, right? Let's not forget Golden Guardians took down Cloud9 yesterday, and I know C9 are slumping a bit, but, well, they're slumping because they're losing to teams who are getting better, such as Golden Guardians. I'm a fan of how the split is going for them. I want to see them get to, 10 and 7, something like that. That'd be exciting. We'll see if they can make that keep going.
The 7-11 dream is pretty much dead at this point.
Most wins in the LCS in any given split. They've done 9-9.
We started 4-2.
We know Infernal Dragon spawns in 3.5. Baron is already up on the map. Not sure if they can rush that one down, but a 2 out of Aphelios does decent damage. And again, CLG still remaining active, still trying to be a threat. They look at Damonte.
That was a good dodge.
Nice juke. I think he was partially predicting that one. I don't believe who was on a ward. He's like, there might be a sidestep. It's like, wow, that's just freaking impressive.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, still around.
Bullbelter's pretty good at the game.
Not a lot CLG can do.
Yep, CLG, to their credit, as you say, are consistently trying to make plays. It's just that Golden Guardians have been equal to them. Again, they are trying to pick off Damonte in the side lane. They have Wiggly and Bulldog up there. It's a good set of members to actually, take out Damonte if they're able to get up to him. But who he was covering his mid laner so he can push out and gets the flash.
So,
despite a nice sidestep from Bulldog, it is
hopefully we can finish some second items before the dragon fight, but it doesn't look like it. That dragon fight is the game decider, because if Golden Guardians gets it, we have no hope. So this is... It just comes down to that. And, I mean, we can't really posture for vision. We're not going to get much wave control because we're just so much weaker. It's a Hail Mary at this point. It's going to be like a 5% play. Ruin at least got the second item, which is nice, but it doesn't matter too much when FBI has 2 completed items and is close to his death stance being finished. And he's the same level as Ruin. And is Stixit gonna get picked here? No. But yeah, Golden Guardians is doing a really good job of controlling the bot side of the map, because they know that if they get this Infernal Soul, they win the game. Because FBI will be too powerful. Who he will do, like, everyone on their team will just hurt incredibly hard. Okay, good catch out FBI here. Oh, that was really well done by Wiggly. Are we gonna... Okay. And we're just gonna die. Yep. That's at least a kill. But we didn't end up getting onto FBI and killing him. Closer survived. It was a 2-for-1. Like, gold was about even because of the shutdown. But We lose tower for it.
Gold lead in action.
Dragon is up
Now,
very soon.
maybe hung around a little
We
bit too
probably
long.
lose that as well and lose the
I
game.
actually think that was a pretty solid engage. A pretty
It
solid
was a
engage
decent
from
engage.
CLG.
It was
Well
just
more
the
than
gold
they
difference.
anticipated that.
If we were even in
FBI
gold, that would have been very good for us.
chased
But
around
we
the other
weren't.
side. They have extra members here, so they're forcing the hand here, trying to engage on that three-man squad. Wiggly is there waiting as FBI comes through, but he has the red gun ulti to heal up, and then because he is so strong, because he is so far ahead, as the rest of the members do arrive, he shreds through Wiggly.
So a good kill by Stixay, but
Ultimate. The collapse comes in from TF. Everyone from FBI was really quick to respond.
he does have Rage Blade. So there's a small chance that this fight goes in our favor, because we were able to finish second items, and it looks like we actually have positioning here. And Haunter doesn't have ulti up. Neither does they don't have ultis up, so this could be good for us. Wiggly does need outsmite. So it's going to be a 50-50 here. And Wiggly's going to die before it gets low enough. So we have to win the fight. Demonte going down. That's pretty big. That's a good engage, except Haunter just kills us all. And they secured the dragon. And so that's game. Good try, boys. It was close. And then Haunter got ulti up and just absolutely wiped us. Nah. This came down to us being terrible laners.
For CLG, the beginning moments of it were looking pretty darn solid. Maokai had an ultimate that rooted up multiple members from pretty far away, so the long route, it felt like they had created some space for their carries, but Haunter,
but this game's over.
He gets in on 3 or 4 members and just
I'm just sad that I have to watch the rest of it.
Floodlight A, so we can watch this one more time. Closer just trying to get CLG off of the dragon, dunking Wiggly away, but Demonte ults in, and this is where I'm thinking, hey, things could actually look all right here. They're on top of Demonte. He gets stacked up on.
Yeah, but Haunter gets ult up right there, and they clump, and Haunter just kills them all.
Incredible ultimate across 4 members there. The smite is landed by Closer in the background, so the Infernal Soul picked up on the back end as Haunter gets a quad.
And now Haunter gets a Leandries, gets to be even stronger. And if he just looks at anyone on our team funny, they just die. Because he is so incredibly powerful. Aphelios has 3 items. The point where he just absolutely outclasses Callista in every way. Demonte's up half of an item and has Infernal Soul. So, and their team builds a lot of damage as well. So they benefit from the Infernal Drakes decently. And they probably can just 2-man this. Yeah, Closer just gonna Hex Flash over the ball, and that's a free Baron. We can't really make a play anywhere. Like, CLG just gets to slowly bleed out here. I think Pobelter just teleported to get the bottom tower.
Allay suspicions, No, don't worry. You can see Demonte, he's waved there. You can see Kennen, he's waved there. We're not. Oh, Baron's gone.
CLG knew they were doing Baron. There was just nothing they could do about it.
Just to get that tower, 3 members from CLG were down there, but they lose the top lane tower. They lose the Baron as well. And I've got to give a lot of credit to Demonte. There's been so many attempts from CLG to actually pick off this TF in the side lane. He has not been overextending. He has been exerting enough pressure to demand that members from CLG come to him. But he only has 1 death this entire game, and it was in a team fight. He has not been picked off in a side lane a single time, despite Wiggly and Pobelter hunting for him for what feels like the last 15 minutes.
I'm kind of at a loss for words, because I just gotta watch us slowly bleed out. That was just a cue from Haunter onto Smoothie. Like, they're so disgustingly ahead. I mean, that's a very good snare, but it does absolutely nothing. Closer could lose about half of his health here. Oh, good snare. Probably knocks him down. Nope, not quite. Smoothie on point with the snares. We just don't have any follow-up damage.
that is, again, gold lead in action. If you're not 10,000 gold behind, that's a pretty easy kill. But, you know, you have to have those absolutely perfect engages where everyone is there to have a chance to burst people down.
And, yeah, closer is never dying again. It's going to be even harder to kill people because of the redemption. Did I mention yet that they have Infernal Drake? Or Infernal Soul? So they just outdamage us so incredibly hard. Stixay has 3 items, but he has to be close range in order to output much damage, which means that he is not going to be able to survive very long. And they can just siege on us nonstop, and eventually they will get towers out of it, like right now. Yep. And Demonte is going to split mid. And Styx is dead. He does flash, but he's still dead. Haunter kills us all. If we get a single kill here, that would be cool, but I don't think we will. Yeah. Well, that was a shitty game. Thank you guys for watching. I don't have much to say other than we got outclassed in literally every single aspect of the fucking game. And there is not I don't think this roster will make playoffs. We kind of just need to blow it up. Shit just wasn't able to come together. It's tragic.